Namaste and welcome to Wisdom with Grace Yoga. My name is Sophie, and on this channel I am the Manifesting Yogini. Today is part 6 of my YouTube series, The Impact of Yoga. I have a vinyasa flow for you themed around Sauca. Sauca refers to both external and internal purification or cleanliness or simplicity. Externally, it includes caring for the body, our surroundings, the food we eat, and our daily habits. Internally, it refers to cleansing the mind of agitation, negativity, attachment, and distorted perception. The Yoga Sutras describe several effects of cultivating sauca. As the mind becomes clearer and more peaceful, it naturally gives rise to cheerfulness, a greater capacity for deep concentration, and increased mastery over the senses rather than being controlled by them. I think many of us can be hard on ourselves because manifesting culture sometimes gives the impression that we're supposed to be positive all the time. But in yoga, cheerfulness doesn't mean forced positivity or constant excitement. It refers to a natural lightness of mind that arises as inner impurities begin to fall away. So rather than something we manufacture, it is a quality that emerges through the practice of sauca. So today, put on some music that helps your mind feel a little lighter. Gather any props you usually like to use, and let's begin. So we'll begin in a cross-legged seated position here for chanting of Oms. And we'll start with the left foot close to the pelvis, and then scooping the right shin up, you can start to rock back and forth a few times. The right leg, and then placing the right leg right about the top of the knee. If you need to slide it in a bit, that's okay too. Finding a nice ease here through the spine so we're not straining. Taking a breath here. And exhale. Another deep cleansing breath. Exhale. And then beginning to chant Oms. And continuing to breathe normally in and out through the nose. And from here, we'll walk the hands slightly forward and not forcing anything here, just bowing forward over the legs for a moment. Walking the hands over to the right. And over to the left. Returning back to center, reaching the palms up overhead, lengthening the ears away from the shoulders, twisting to the right. Release the left hand to right knee, right fingertips back behind you, and see if you can walk that right hand closer to the left hip. The inhale returns you back to center, and just switching legs here. Bringing the right ankle in close to the pelvis, scooping under for that left shin, and rocking the baby. And then crossing the right foot over the right knee, or bring it in closer to the ankle joint, whichever feels more comfortable here. Inhale, find some length here through the spine, and exhale, hinging forward over the legs. Breath in and breath out. See what you can relax where you're holding on to any unnecessary tension. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walking the hands over to the left. Inhale, back to center, and walking the hands over to the other side. Returning back to center, coming back to seated. Inhale, reach fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, twisting to the left. Are you able to walk that left hand a little closer to the right hip? There is a bind here to grab the big toe. Thoughts in your body? And returning back to center. Come to hands and knees. A very important position for Sauca, because if you ever do any cleaning, and if you've never cleaned your floors on your hands and knees, then you might be surprised with how dirty your floors are if you ever try that. And start, if you're like me and can't see very far away. And from here, we'll move through some cat-cows. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, round through the spine, moving in unison with breath. Returning to a neutral spine, bring the knees wide apart, the toes together, and sit the hips back towards the heels. Reach the hands forward for child's pose and our intention for today. So for our intention today, just notice here how you're feeling today. Since this is a practice for cheerfulness, just notice your baseline, and then moving up through the emotional scale. Maybe cheerfulness isn't your next stop. Maybe it's just relief. Maybe it's just having a little bit more energy. Maybe you want to move on up to cheerfulness. So starting at the baseline and just going one notch up the emotional scale. And using the affirmation, by the end of this practice, I will feel, and fill in the blank with whichever that notch represents. And from here, lifting the torso up just slightly, walking the hands a little farther forward, tuck the toes under, and unfold into down dog. Any movement here that feels cleansing in your body today, maybe pedaling out through the feet, rocking the hips side to side, saying yes or no with the head. Or inviting some relative stillness for the mind to clear. And then slowly walking the hands back towards the feet, lifting high up onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees and sit the hips back down towards the heels, coming into a toe stand. You can bring the hands to heart center. And from here, release the hands down, curl up into a little ball, and try to maintain that connection of torso to thighs as you lift the hips into your forward fold. Press through the feet and start to roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, keeping a round spine until the very end. The head, the neck, and the shoulders arrive. And just spin yourself around to face the front of the mat. From your Tadasana, moving into that breathwork practice we've been working on this series, reaching the fingertips forward, thumbs facing up. Breathing in through the nose. And exhale with a sound of shh. We'll do that again, adding some movement here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, right hand comes back with a sound of shh. Try to keep the hips forward. Inhale, right hand comes forward. Notice if the shoulders lift, drop them down. Inhale. Exhale with the sound of shh, opening up to the left. Inhale, left hand returns to meet right. Reach fingertips overhead and exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or to thighs. Crown of the head pulls forward. Exhale, stepping the left foot back. Nice big step back, lifting high onto the ball of the back foot, right knee over right ankle. Reach the fingertips back behind you and inhale, rise on up to your high crescent lunge. Inhale, reach fingertips overhead if you find your balance. And exhale, twisting open to the right, reach the arms in line with the shoulders. Reach that left hand forward, place it to the inside of the right foot. Right hand reaches towards the sky. Release the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Spin yourself around to a wide-legged forward fold. All 10 toes are forward. The outer edges of the feet are parallel with each other. And any simple movement here with the hands, placing them in line with the toes can be nice, or bring the forearms to the ground. And then walking the hands over to the left foot, stepping the left foot back to meet the right back through to another down dog. In your down dog, lifting high up onto the balls of the feet, shift forward into a plank. Shoulders are stacked over wrist and gently lifting the back of the skull towards the ceiling. You may drop the knees here, but we're not in a tabletop. We're shifting the hips slightly forward, so it's a straight line from knees to crown of the head. And from here, wherever you are, knees down or knees up, shift the shoulders slightly forward past the wrist. Elbows hug in and slowly lower all the way to your abdomen, tops of the feet to the mat. Pressing firmly through the tops of the feet. Drag the hands towards the feet as the heart pulls forward into a low cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, pressing back up either onto hands and knees or into plank. And exhale right back through to down dog. Bring the toes to touch. Inhale the right foot, three-legged dog, just about hip height. Swing that right knee forward and step through between the hands, softly placing the left knee down for Anjaneyasana. And from here, bring your hands to either side of the front foot so the torso is right over the thigh, and see if you can creep that left hip a little farther forward. So we're almost even onto the left thigh instead of the knee. You can keep the back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels better in your knee here. Putting some pressure through that back foot can help, or you can put a blanket down. And try to maintain the hips exactly where they are. If you want a little bit more, now bring your hands to the knee. And if you want more, bringing the palms up overhead, bringing them behind your head, and finding a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, release the hands. Maybe walk that right foot forward and toes flex towards your face as you come into a half Hanumasana, half split or monkey pose. Soften through the right knee. Bring both hands to the inside of the right foot and heel toe that right foot out. Tuck the back toes under and step the left foot to the outside of the hands, swinging the hips through for a Malasana Yogi squat. Release the hands, tuck the chin under, lift the hips, and heel toe the feet in to a forward fold. Hands to the hips, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, rise with a flat back. Coming right back through to Tadasana mountain pose for that breath work here. So bring the hands forward. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sound of shh, twisting open to the right. Inhale back to center, shoulders down. Exhale, shh, to the left. Inhale back to center, reach fingertips overhead, maybe gentle arch back, and exhale, swan dive over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, stepping the right foot back, sitting up for our high lunge, so lifting high onto the ball of the back foot. Stay low to start. Make sure the left knee is aligned with the ankle. And then when you find your balance, reach the fingertips back behind you, rising up to your high crescent lunge. Inhale, exhale, open through the arms and twisting to the left. Reach the right hand forward, place it to the inside of the left foot, and sweep the left hand towards the sky. Release the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Spin yourself over to a wide-legged forward fold. Walking your hands over to the right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Into down dog. Inhale, rolling forward into a plank. Drop your knees if you need. Otherwise, shift the shoulders past the wrist. Elbows hug in as you lower slowly to the earth. Tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, rising up to Bhujangasana. Exhale, pressing up and back. Down dog. Toes connect. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. Swing the left knee forward. Place the left foot between the hands and shift the hips forward just as you need. So we start to feel a pretty deep opening through the hip flexor here. And try to keep the hips where they are. If you want more, bring your hands to the knee. And then reaching palms up overhead. Exhale, release the hands to either side of the front foot. Maybe walk it a little farther forward and flex your toes towards your face for half Hanumasana. Soften through the left knee. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the back toes under. And float the right leg to the outside of the right hand. Swing the hips through for another Malasana Yogi squat. And just a short practice today, so bring your hands behind you. Come to a seat once again. Extend the legs. Cross the right ankle over the left knee joint and interlace the hands over the right knee. Press into the knee. The knee gently presses back, so we find some length here. And if you can, bend to the left knee. Draw the right heel in. So now the right knee is crossed over the left. And if you can, bring the shins parallel with the front of the mat. But no should feel any pressure here through the knee joints. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and exhale, twisting to the right. Nice cleansing twist. Inhale, lengthen through the base of the spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, heart draws forward and releasing. Press forward and simply switching the legs. So extending the right leg, crossing the left ankle over the right knee, and press the hands into the knee. So maybe this is where you stay. Or maybe you can stack the knees on top of each other for Gomukhasana. Inhale, reach fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, draws your heart forward. Then release the legs and come into Ardha Navasana boat pose. So the shins are parallel with the floor. Press the balls of the feet away and spread the toes. From here, you can play with straightening the legs, releasing the hands, any variation you'd like to explore. And then slow motion, start to lower the legs down. So now we're just into a little boat hover. And release everything down. Extend the arms up overhead. Find a nice full body stretch. And release the hands by your side, walking the soles of the feet to the mat. Moving through to a bridge, hands by your sides. Maybe you can just graze the tops of the heels with your fingertips. Feet are about hips distance apart, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower the hips back down to the earth. And crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Press the shin away. And draw both knees into the chest. Maybe you find you clasp the hamstring here. We're not doing any straining to find a sit-up. Finding a neutral spine in this posture. Keeping both feet flexed. Release the left heel down. Keep that right ankle crossed and drop the left knee to the left. I'll do that again in case you missed it. So the right knee is over the left knee, and then both knees fall to the left. So the right sole of the foot comes to the floor. From here, placing the left hand to the inner thigh of the right leg, and you can gently press that away. Find a little bit of an opening. This is my new favorite stretch. And from here, you can start to cross the right shin over the left. So now we're in that cross-legged seated position, but we're in a reclined. This is rather intense. For some. And then release the right foot off the leg. Bring both soles of the feet back down to the mat. Bring your feet out nice and wide and just windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And on to the other side. Bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. And placing the left ankle across the right knee for reclined pigeon. Dead pigeon is what it's called. Crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Drawing the right knee into the chest, and only if it's available to you with some ease, finding the hamstring of the right leg. And releasing the sole of the foot to the floor, dropping both knees to the right. May the left sole of the foot can find the floor. And from here, bringing your right hand to the inner thigh of the left leg and pressing that away gently. And from here, crossing the left shin over the right, if you need to adjust so that you come back to center a little bit more, you can. So we're cross-legged in a reclined position. And gently uncross the legs. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Lifting the shoulders up off the mat into a bit of a crunch. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your face, squeeze your fists, squeeze everything you can. Squeeze. Take a sip of air in. Take another sip of air in. And exhale. Let it all go. Extend your legs. Arms by your side for final resting posture of practice today, Shavasana. Observing any differences here through the body than when you started practice. Maybe feeling a little clearer, a little lighter. And if not, just observe that too without judgment. And take a deep, deep cleansing breath. Exhale with the sound of a sigh. Let it go. One more time like that. Inhale, deep cleansing breath. Exhale with the sound of a sigh. Let it go. And this is where I will leave you until next time. If you would like a guided Shavasana, I have a link in the description below. Otherwise, you can stay right here, turn off all your technology, or just let it play in the background for your final meditation or practice today, which is really one of the most important parts of yoga is Shavasana. So enjoy. Thank you for joining me today, and namaste.